Alright folks, I'm going to make a quick video here. Customer complaint that the brake caliper is locking up on the right front wheel. I've seen it too many times where a customer will come in and complain that the brake caliper won't release or the car won't roll in neutral. Brakes are getting hot on one wheel and not the others. So what we did is we took this car for a drive. We've got the brakes so that they're hot. They are catching on one side, they're hanging up on one side, not on the other. One thing I wanted to point out in this video, it's not always that the caliper hangs up. It happens on all makes and models, but Ford had a big problem with it. What happens is this hose will collapse on the inside. When you step on the brakes, fluid comes down this hose into the caliper, presses on the brake pads, and clamps on the rotor. That slows your car down. When you take your foot off the brakes, fluid is supposed to go back up this hose. If this hose deteriorates in here, it'll create a one-way valve, or like a check valve. Fluid will come down when you step on the brakes. It applies the brakes, and when you take your foot off the pedal, the fluid tries to come back, but a little rubber flap inside of here, because the rubber flap is part of this hose breaking down. When that happens, the fluid gets trapped in here in the caliper and the brakes stay on. So one thing to check before you automatically order a caliper, now we just got done driving this car, put your socket on your bleeder screw and back it off. And you're going to want to listen for a pop or a hiss. There was nothing like a pop or a hiss. As you can see, fluid comes out, but we don't have a bunch of pressure built up in the caliper. That's warm. If there's pressure in the caliper, most likely your cause is either a master cylinder or the correlating hose to that wheel. Normally it's that hose. If you open this bleeder screw and you get a large squirt of fluid, and sometimes you'll even see the caliper release, you'll see the tension come off of it. Now this particular case, if we stick our screwdriver in here, we can collapse that piston on the top side. Now this has got dual pistons. There's a piston here and a piston here. If I stick my screwdriver in here and I pry, I can't get that bottom piston to move. So in this case, the caliper is bad. This hose is more than likely fine because it's not retaining pressure. I've seen people replace the caliper and put it back together and still have the problem, and then they can't figure it out. I've done it myself as well. So I hope this helps you.